Well, we've waited patiently, and after multiple leaks, predictions and demands, it's here. Meet the Sonos Sub Mini. While it does look pretty different from your average subwoofer, it's also got some interesting capabilities to level up your Sonos setup. And I'm not just talking about extra bass for your soundbar. Coming in at £429, boasting a new compact cylindrical design and offering a step up in bass performance from your Sonos setup, the Sub Mini is the Sub Gen 3's smaller brother and the more affordable subwoofer option from Sonos that we've all been asking for. With an RRP of $749, the Sub Gen 3 is certainly not an impulse buy and can be hard to justify if you've got a smaller Sonos setup. Not to mention, the Sub Gen 3 does really pack a punch, and for a lot of us would have simply been too much for our setup and space, and not to mention getting an angry call from your neighbours. So, is the Sub Mini the solution? Of course, we have a full in-depth review coming very soon, including a comparison with the Sub Gen 3, so make sure you're subbed for that. And if you're watching this video and you're thinking, that Sub Mini sounds perfect for me, then good news. We'll be giving away a Sonos Sub Mini to one of our subscribers based in the UK on launch day, which is the 6th of October. And all you need to do is like this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment below along with your Instagram handle, as we'll be messaging the winner directly on there on launch day. Please be aware this will come from our Smart Home Sounds Instagram account only, which will be linked in the description. Right then, let's kick off with taking a look at the design. The Sub Mini moves away from the traditional black box subwoofer design with a curved cylindrical look available in either black or white to suit your space, and it's got a very minimalistic appearance with only one button for connectivity on the side. You'll notice the style is similar to their more recent launches such as the Sonos Ray, and it actually looks a lot like the Sonos Move. Size-wise, it's 305mm high, so around 100mm taller than the Move, and 230mm in diameter. From the images we've seen online, I'm really intrigued by this look and interested to get my hands on one in real life. In a similar style to the Sub Gen 3, we've got this center tunnel in the middle, which has been designed to move air efficiently and boost the bass performance. Inside, we've got two Class D digital amplifiers which power dual 6-inch woofers which are faced inwards. This layout creates a force cancelling effect which actually helps to neutralize cabinet buzz, so there won't be any rattle or distortion like you can get from a typical transducer. Again, similar to the Sub Gen 3, the Sub Mini offers an acoustically sealed cabinet design which Sonos have said is optimized for acoustics, but was also mainly a design choice first and foremost. They've also got advanced digital signal processing, or DSP, which they have said will help the Sub Mini to maximize the bass response and reproduce full-toned low frequencies, which we'd expect from a larger subwoofer. But how will it actually compare with the Sonos Sub Gen 3? Well, we'll be putting these head-to-head and testing them out in a range of setups in our upcoming review, but for now, which speakers would be better connected to a Sub Mini and which with a Sub Gen 3? Now, first things first, Sub Mini connects to other speakers via its built-in 5 GHz Wi-Fi connection for enhanced audio transmission speed, so you don't get any lag or dropouts. It can be connected to any Sonos speaker, so all these here, with the exception of the Sonos portable speakers, so the Move, the Roam and Roam SL. You can also pair it with the Sonos amp, so that can then be added to a pair of bookshelves, in-wall, in-ceiling, things like that, but it can't connect with the port. Now, there are going to be some speakers and some setups that will be better suited to the Sub Gen 3. In general, we'd recommend the Sub Mini to those of you with a smaller or medium-sized rooms with these speakers, so things like the Ray, Beam, Sonos One, One SL, Amp, or Symphonix speaker. If you have a 5 or an ARC, you certainly can pair a Sub Mini. Now, Sonos do still recommend the Sub Gen 3 with these larger speakers in a larger setting. However, we are really interested to test the Sub Mini with the ARC and 5 and see how it performs. As always, it's not as black and white as what I've just said, and it really comes down to your budget, room size, and the volumes you listen at. For example, the Beam is a mid-price point soundbar and so would be a perfect setup with the Sub Mini in a modest living room. However, if your space is a bit larger and you listen loud, then you might benefit from the Sub Gen 3. Now, in terms of control, the Sub Mini's volume will automatically adjust with the speaker or speakers it's paired with. You can use the Sonos app to customize the EQ and adjust the bass level to suit your preference. Now, a really interesting capability to highlight is that the Sub Mini doesn't just add value in the low end in a setup. Because it actually takes the load of the lower frequencies from a paired speaker, let's say the Beam Gen 2 for example, it actually frees up some processing power in the Beam so that it can deliver a better performance on the other arrays. So in theory, you're adding extra bass and low end as well as getting enhancements across the whole sound profile. Of course, I want to test this out properly to see how well that works, but on paper, this is going to be a great addition for a lot of people's setups. We've also been told that both Sonos subwoofers are tuned individually for the speaker they're paired with, so they'll recognise the Sonos speaker, soundbar, or component it's been paired with and adjust performance accordingly. We love the sound of this feature, and while we see the Beam, for example, as the perfect match, we're also excited with adding the Sub Mini to, say, a stereo pair of Sonos Ones. Right, well, I know what you're thinking, £429. If I buy two and pair them like I can with the Sub Gen 3, that's just over 850 quid and would surely be a fantastic setup. Sadly, no. Unlike the Sub Gen 3, you're not able to pair two Sonos Sub Minis to one setup. It's something we were really hoping for, as a dual sub setup can perform really well in certain setups and spaces, so Sonos, maybe a software update in the future? Also for reference, as I'm sure someone will ask, you can't pair a Sub Gen 3 with a Sub Mini either. So do we see this being used more for music, movies, or gaming? Truthfully, I think the Sub Mini will have a place in all three of these scenarios. I can see this being a great addition to a Ray or Beam Gen 2 for your TV setup, leveling up a pair of Sonos Ones in a stereo pair for music, or being added to your gaming setup for extra immersion there. It really comes down to where you want to extend the lower frequencies for extra depth and immersion. Now, given how excited the audience has been for this announcement, we see this being a popular launch for Sonos and should mean that a lot more Sonos users can access a level up in their entertainment at a more affordable price point. In terms of price, we've seen on forums people hoping for a price from $399 to $499, so we would say $429 is somewhere close to what we'd expect and is a jump down from the Sub Gen 3, but let us know, what do you think of the price? As always, in our review, we'll share our thoughts on value for money once we've tested it. On the whole, we cannot wait to get it in our studio soon to test it out with different setups and compare it with the Sub Gen 3, so make sure you're subscribed to catch that and leave all of your questions below or over on our Instagram. For now, what are your thoughts on the Sub Mini? Is this going to be the next addition to your setup? Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll catch you next time.